Right, welcome to Looplearnings, and if you are a regular visitor of channel, welcome back, and if you're new to this channel, welcome to Looplearnings. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. This is video number 13, I believe. I'm recording this video after a long break, so I forgot what is the number. I believe it's number 13 if I'm not mistaken. If you haven't watched the first, before this, this is a whole series, so there will be around 11 or 12 videos already uploaded on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched those, I've given the links for those videos in the description below. Right, we are making POS system, and today I'm going to do a little bit of VBA coding for invoice and login form. Oh, sorry, not login form, invoice form. But invoice form is linked with the order form, so I'm kind of going to touch order form as well, and we will do the complete coding for the invoice form. So first let's look at the scenario. The scenario will be that order will be created, or all the order lines will be added, and then this order will have some net RSP as well. So in that case, what cashier or the person who will be handling this will have to do is to create an invoice. So the invoice can be created and the money can be collected from the customer. And to create invoice, someone will have to click on create invoice button here, and then once this button is clicked, then this form will open, right? Okay, and the moment this form will open, this form will carry the order number reference. This is very important because we are linking order with the invoice, and there is a link as well in the relationship. So that's why it's very important to give certain information such as order number particularly, then order total, and that is it. So that information will come from the order form, but then rest of the operation will be performed in this particular form itself. So for example, giving discount, what amount is collected, everything, or who has paid for that particular invoice, and mobile. These are optional, that's why I kept them as white. So it's important information to provide if in case customer is happy to provide. Anyway, so that's what we are going to do. So first thing first, what we need to do is we'll go to the design view of invoice form. Also at the same time, I would like to go to the design view of order form. As I have explained how the operation will be performed, so we'll go to the create invoice button, and we'll go to the event tab, and we'll go to the on click event. But before I do that, what I would like to do is I would like to get the error handling code, because that's very, very important, error handling, right? So I would like to copy it. We'll close it. We'll go to the on click event. We'll go for the create invoice button. We'll click on this ... I'll choose code builder, and in here we will type on error resume next. Okay, that's the error handling code. All right, logic will be this order has to have some kind of information. For example, this order should be saved, created. It should have an order number. It should have some sort of pricing, and then someone should be able to create invoice. If it doesn't have order number or the price, then the invoice should not be created. Then there is no point of creating invoice, right? So that logic we need to build first. So we'll say if is null, me dot order number dot value is equal to true, or me dot net RSP dot value or is null. Don't forget this, please. Okay, I'm coding after a couple of, I think, more than a week, so I'm a bit rusty, so please bear with me. Is equal to true, then to cmd.beep message box. This action cannot be performed as the order is not created yet, or the order does not have the total price yet. Okay, that's the logic. We want to give VB critical, and here the title of the message box will be information. Else, if that is false, then go ahead and first thing you do is open the invoice F. This is the form. We want that form to be opened. So for that, we'll build in the code here to cmd dot open form. Which form? Well, this form, invoice F. Okay, and we want this form to be open as normal and nowhere condition, and of course we want this form to be open in add mode. Okay, now we have opened the form. Now we would like to transfer the order number from this form to invoice form in here, right? So that's the benefit of automation. So what we need to do is forms, okay, invoice F, okay, and then exclamation mark, and we want this order num dot value is equal to me dot order num dot value. All right, so this line of code, what it will do, well, it will transfer whatever the order number here, it will transfer this from order form to the invoice form. So it will transfer the order number here. What else would like to transfer? Well, we would like to transfer net RSP, right? This is also would like to transfer. Okay, so would like to transfer net RSP from this form to invoice form. All right, so we'll have the similar code. We'll copy that. Of course, not everything similar. We will copy. So this is the order total here, right? We would like to get the order total here, and I'll copy that, and here will be me dot order total dot value. Okay, so order total, so whatever the net RSP, net RSP, we would like to have this particular value, not the order total value. Me dot net RSP. Okay, net RSP. So we want to transfer this value, whatever value it is here, to be collected as a invoice. What else do we want? Well, we want the discount percentage as 0. That also we want. Forms invoice F. So We'll just copy discount percentage dot value is equal to 0. All right, that is it. Or we can leave it, you know, we can leave it. We can manually enter that. Once that is done, we are done with this line of code, so we don't need anything else. Order number we are copying order total. Yeah, these are the two important things we are copying. So that's enough in here in the order form. We'll debug it, save it, close it, and now we'll go to the invoice form. Now, since the data has been transferred, the first action I would like to do is to save the invoice first. So the invoice number gets created, invoice date gets created, invoice status gets created, you know, all that things will get created. So let's go ahead and do the coding for the save button. But before we do that, I would like to copy, exactly, you guessed it right, the error handling code. On click event. Okay, so we'll say on error resume next. All right, okay, so if logic here, if order number is empty, if this field is empty, the invoice should not be created. That's the logic, right? If order total is empty, then the invoice should not be created. These are the two logics we are going to build in here. So if is null, me dot order number dot value is equal to true, then toCMD dot beep message box. What message box? Well, this action cannot be performed as the order number is missing. Straightforward. So we don't want to perform any action, and we want the title as information. Hope you have got it. All right, now let's copy this entire thing. The second logic is order total should not be empty. So let's write a bit of code for that. Me dot order total. This action cannot be performed as the order total is missing, right? So straightforward. If these two are false, meaning there is order number here, there is order total here, if whatever number or whatever amount is it is, that's fine. Then proceed and save the invoice, get the invoice number, get the invoice date, get the status and status date. Else, okay, then me dot invoice date dot value is equal to now. Okay, that is done. Then status, so me dot status dot value is equal to new. Okay, at that time it will be new invoice. Then status date will be exactly same now. Okay, all right, what else? Verified by will be later, right? We'll perhaps make another button here, and we'll have the verification of the invoice as well. Okay, so I think we are done with this save button. So that will save, and toCMD.save, and in here the message box will say the invoice has been created, please collect the amount. it should be VB information, not VB critical. There we go. And let's close this with end div. Yes, save it. Okay, debug it. Fine. Now let's do coding behind the collect payment button. Now, what is the logic for the collect payment button? Again, if there is no invoice number selected, then what payment should be collected? Nothing. So give the error that, hey, payment cannot be collected. Oh, by the way, I'm missing something here. Update. There is another operation, update. So save, we have done the coding for save, but there is a operation for update. So two options we can do. One is create another button for the update, or use the same button, save button, as the update. So once, that means if the invoice is already created but there is something changed, then the invoice can be updated. Okay, but there is one more logic we need to build. If the invoice is cleared, right, if the invoice is if the status says collected or verified on is false, then give an error that the updates cannot be made in this particular invoice. So let's go ahead and build that functionality as well. All right, so we'll say if me dot status dot value is equal to collected, or me dot status dot value is equal to verified, either one of these, if there is a status, then whatever, okay, I missed is equal to, then give a message through a error and tell the user that this action cannot be performed as the invoice has been completed. And that makes sense. If the money is collected, if the invoice is verified, then there should not be any update in this particular invoice. Otherwise, your account department will struggle. Straightforward. So after this logic, then check for if this is false, then if there is an update, then you can straightforward save that update. Okay, so we'll say else if me dot status dot value is equal to new invoice. Okay, there's only one status I think of in which the updates can be made, and that is new invoice, because once it is collected, once it is verified, no updates can be made. Only when the invoice status is new, then you can update something like give a discount or add some amount or remove some amount, whatever it is, and then only it should be able to update. Otherwise it should not, right? So to cmd dot save, right? And that is it, I believe. I hope you've got the idea, the logic. If you haven't got the idea, just rewind a little bit and listen to the video again. Maybe you'll get an idea. Now the invoice is created, now money has to be collected. Okay, so order total and net RSP. Net RSP will be simply, if there is a 0% discount, then of course there will be no discount, and net RSP will be exactly same as order total, and then accordingly we have to collect the money. But we have to build a logic in here as well. If the amount collected is less than, if the amount collected is more than net RSP, then give an error, hey, you're collecting more money than what you're supposed to. Or if the amount collected is less than net RSP, then again throw an error, hey, you are collecting less than what you're supposed to collect. So in both cases, the throw an error and then move on. Okay. Oops. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the collect payment button, and let's go on click event, and again we will copy this and on error resume next. Right, so first thing first, let's build a logic. If there is no invoice number in here, straightforward say the money cannot be collected. That is it. If is null, me dot invoice ID dot value is equal to true, then to cmd dot beep message box. This action cannot be performed as the invoice number is missing. Simple as that. Comma may be critical and information in here. Else if, right? Else if, basically I'm going to copy here. I'm going to copy this. Okay. So same logic, if already collected, if already verified, then again this action cannot be performed as the invoice has been completed. Why you're doing it? Simple as that. Now let's build another logic. So that logic will be, if the amount collected is null, then again you're not collecting any payment, then how can you create or close the invoice? So else if is null, me dot amount collected dot value is equal to true, then to cmd dot beep message box. This action cannot be performed as the amount collected field is empty. Yep, makes sense. If it is empty, then you cannot proceed. You simply have to provide how much money you are collecting. Simple as that. Then we'll set the focus, me dot amount collected dot set focus. Right, now let's throw an error. Let's build a logic. Else if, now logic is, if the amount collected is more than net RSP, then still throw an error. Okay, throw an error, say hey, you are collecting more than what you're supposed to collect. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's build that logic. Else if me dot amount collected dot value is greater than me dot net RSP dot value, then throw a message. This action cannot be performed as the amount collected value is greater than net RSP. So you cannot do that. Once that logic is done, all those logics are checked and nothing is wrong, then proceed and proceed further. Else, now one more logic, if the amount collected is less than a net RSP, then still throw an error and then ask the user, hey, do you really want to collect less money than what you're supposed to collect? And if user say yes, then put a balance here, and then status should be partially collected. okay, because the money is fully not fully collected, right? So we'll say Tim responds as integer. So basically we are checking if the amount collected is less than net RSP. Okay, so in here we'll say if me dot amount collected dot value is less than me dot net RSP dot value, then okay, if it is less than, then throw a response in other words is a message box, and ask the user, are you sure to collect the less money than you supposed to collect? Plain English. Okay, and then ask VB question plus VB yes or no, comma, title would be information, bracket close. If response is equal to VB yes, then if it says yeah, go ahead and collect the whatever money I'm collecting, you go ahead, then what you do is me dot status dot value is equal to partially collected. Okay, partially collected, me dot status state dot value is equal to now what else, the balance amount will automatically be calculated because I put in the formulas. We can verify in here, invoices, we'll go to the design view, yep, and you can see the balance is calculated field. Okay, so it will automatically come based on the amount collected in net RSP, so we don't have to write a code for that. Okay, so me dot status date dot value is equal to now. What else? I think that is it. Yep. To cmd dot save, to cmd dot beep, message box, the partial amount has been collected from the customer. Okay, VB information and the title would be same information, right? Otherwise do nothing, right? Otherwise if the amount collected net RSP is exactly same, then go ahead and just simply fill in these text boxes. We'll copy this, so we'll say collected because we have collected. Oh no, here we have to put in do nothing because the user has selected no, so then we don't want anything else to happen, so we'll say do nothing. Okay, and we'll end if. Now there is another scenario. If the amount collected is equal to net RSP, then what should happen? Well, that also that logic also we need to build. So we'll say exit sub here. Okay, and then we need another end if. Okay, I'm kind of missing something here. If the amount collected is less than me.net RSP, then do this action. If amount collected is equal to net RSP, then so we need to remove this and we need to build this logic here. If me dot amount collected dot value is equal to me dot net RSP dot value, then go ahead and simply fill in the status, and in that case the status will be collected. Status date will be now, 2cmd.save beep, and the amount has been collected from the customer successfully. Okay, else if in here, and if the amount is less than net RSP, then proceed and throw a message, maybe question, maybe yes and no, and then accordingly you proceed. Let's debug it and block if without end if. So which if we are missing in here? This one code block in here, one if and end if. Oh, the one more end if, the main one. Okay, now it is gone. So that is how you collect the amount. Okay, so let's make another button, and that would be verify payment. That is also very important. Sometimes what happens is amount is collected by someone else and it is verified by someone else, so that can also happen. So in that case we need to build a functionality for verification also. And let's go ahead and go to the back end of the button. On error, resume next. Right, let's write a code in here. So again, same logic. If the invoice status is empty, so basically we'll copy this, exact this. Okay, here we go. And if it is partially collected, then again we will say that no, if the partially collected, then still it should be verified that okay, even if it is partially collected, this is the money and I can verify that, so that is fine. Anyway, so let's go ahead and build in else do what? Me dot status dot value is equal to verified. Okay, me dot status date dot value is equal to now, and me dot verified by and verified on, me dot verified by dot value is equal to forms. This we will take it from the dashboard itself. So this is the dashboard and this is the name, whatever name is appear here, txt username, that will take it. Forms dashboard f and username dot value. Okay, dashboard F. Okay, that was correct. And me dot verified on dot value is equal to now, and then give a message and say save it. First save it to cmd.save. The invoice has been verified. Okay, and if, simple as that. Right, so the code is completed, and this video is kind of longer than I expected. Anyway, so that was invoice form, and I hope you have learned something. Even if you have not, please do let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Let's meet in the next video, and in next video I'm going to do the coding for payroll. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.